Okay, this is what a person looks like when they've been reading the entire night and they come down in the middle of the night to do a video in their pajamas. So they just grab the biggest clothing to hide all the pajamas. Welcome to the Daily Reads book series. I'm Christina Carreras, Tina. This is where we read books and talk about books and like to read books. Books, 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 and more books. And this book has been in my to be read file for a while now. A while. And I was putting it off. So I'm slowly working through my to be read file because I was doing some other stuff. And so this book, Holmes, Marple, and Poe. And good Lord, no matter what time of day I do a video, she goes off. She always goes off. I'm gonna take her batteries out, I swear it. So, how much? Let's see something. 339? Well, I don't. 339 pages and 117 chapters. And the biggest mystery, and I guess it'll take a while because there are some hints. There are some insinuations at some point in the book. But the big mysteries is, who are these people? It is believed by several people that they say they are Augustus Poe, who says his great-great-grandfather was Edgar Allan, and Brandon Holmes, and Margaret Marple. And they claim to be these people, and other people suspect that these are false identities, and this will probably be a running theme. I can see it going. I know that the next one comes out this month in the series. I'll have to go check it out. But so it's probably going to be a running tagline in the series, who these three people really are. And that's going to be one of the taglines. So then we have several mysteries here. Where is my paper? So there are several. It's like a whole bunch of short stories combined. So you get story 1 here, then the next one is 2, then the next one is 3, then the next one is 4, then you go back to 1, then you go back to 2, then you go back to 3, you go back to 4, and they're all separate. They're all separate cases. They're all separate things. They're not tied in. Some authors will do a whole bunch of separate things and then tie them in at the end. These are all completely separate cases. And although actually 2 of them are combined, now that I think about it, because the ending just was one of the resolutions to one of the cases was interesting. So these 3 people, Augustus Poe, Brandon Holmes, and Margaret Marple, decide to open up this business, and they get this old house, and they renovate it for themselves. And to get cases, you have to advertise. And I always tell people, and I've gotten arguments that it's not necessary. And I think it would be good idea, but people tell me the old fuddy-duddies don't want to do it. So anyways, so these people they solve this very public crime, this first crime, and they get themselves some publicity, huge, massive amounts of publicity. They solve this first crime. And as a result of this first crime, they get several cases. Now, one of the cases involves the building that they are inhabiting that they just bought. and one of the characters is insistent she's going to research this by herself and figure out what happened. So that's like a cold case. So one of the cases is the cold case, the murder of Mary McShane, who was slain in 1954 in the bakery. And it's an unsolved mystery. So that's your cold case. Then you have this rich guy, massively, massively, massively rich. His Shakespeare First Folio and his Gutenberg Bible have been stolen. And all the experts say that access to his area is so secured that only very, 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 very few people could ever have broken into this. So there's only like one or two people that could have actually performed this job. So that's the other case. They're looking for the two books. And sometimes they think it's the guy himself for insurance purposes. But that has a surprising ending there. Then there are a whole group of bones found in the subway. And the first death was 60 years ago. And there's been deaths ever since over the past 60 some odd years. And they're all missing their teeth. All of their skin and organs have been burned off, so they are just skeletons with no teeth. And they find many, many bodies in the subway. So that's your second case. Then there is a case that's not their case. Then there is this girl, and I'm trying to figure out why we are getting this Lucy Lynn case. She's going for a modeling job. She's not connected with any other of the other cases. It's just like an insert, and you're like, why are we paying attention to this girl? What's her connection? She's not a case of the three investigators. She's not part of that. It's just thrown in, and you're wondering, why are we getting this piece? Why are we getting this chapter thrown in every couple of chapters? What's the purpose? What's its connection? Well, you at the very, very end, there's the resolution of that. Then there's another case, and I know I'm forgetting one because I can't find my paper. But then there is kidnapping. And this lady, Adeline, calls them and says that her husband and her biological daughter from her first marriage, and the husband is deceased, I believe, and the second husband, Eaton Charles, and the stepdaughter are missing, and so is her dog. And they get yelled at and it takes a long time. And I'm wondering, why are they focusing on all these other cases? Why are we worrying about the bones? And why are we doing the book? And why are we not seriously pursuing these two missing persons? They could be tortured, they could be under stress, all these things could be going on with these people. And it takes a couple days, and then a ransom demand comes in. And then the FBI and the New York City police get in, and the three of these you've let this go on 5 days? These people could be dead by now. They could be tortured. They blah, 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 blah. And they get in a whole bunch of trouble because it's been 5 days, and they really haven't done much of nothing. And you're like, why haven't they done much of nothing? Why are they worried about all these other cases? Why aren't they worried about this kidnapping case? They should be on this first. So that has its own resolution. And then one of our beloved characters has a little bit of a heroin problem. And so those are basically your cases for this book. There's one more I know I'm forgetting. But other than those cases, there is the running gag through the whole book of who these people really are. But I believe that's going to be the running gag of the series for a while. A long time. As long as the series lasts, as long as Patterson keeps the series up, is as long as this little thing's going to go. There are a couple of suppositions the detective involved in all that, and what's her background, and why she was a special agent with the FBI, and now she's a New York City detective. Why did she take the downgrade? You really don't find out about that either. And why she's getting in a relationship with one of the guys, too. So that's another thing. And they get a new secretary. And they get 2 mascots, a cat and a dog. The Hounds of the basketball. There is... Wait a second, I gotta find it. Okay, I'm not gonna spill too much here, but I had to share this little quip. He's in the morgue, and the lady asks what his name is. And she says his name is Augustus Poe. He's a private investigator. Your name's Poe. Is that for real? I can show you my driver's license. Crown turned off the water and shook her hands over the sink. Didn't Edgar Allan Poe write a book about a morgue? The murders in Rue Morgue. RUEMORGUE. Short story, but there's no morgue involved. Rue Morgue is the name of a street in Paris. No blank. A real one? Actually, no, he made it up. Who's the perp, Mr. Poe? Who's the murderer in Rue Morgue? An orangutan did it. You're messing with me. I didn't write it. You mean one of those big hairy orange apes? Technically an ape. So technically, Mr. Poe, what are you doing in my place of business? He was at a burial site. He's helping out with the case. And so I'll leave that. I just wanted to show that little snippet, and I'll leave out some of the clues about who they really are. You can read that when you get in the book. It does feel like it runs on, and the chapters are really, really short. The chapters are the biggest chapter is like 4 pages. The shortest chapter is probably a page and a half. It runs like the Woman's Murder Club, where everybody gets a point of view, a POV. You get some from Holmes' POV, you get some from Marple's POV, you get Poe's POV, and you get Helena Gray's POV. And at one point, you even get Virginia, their new secretary's POV. So everybody gets a POV. And I like it that it's done in separate chapters. I've said this before, especially with the Women's Murder Club. Each character, Lindsay and gang, when they had their own POV, it was their own chapter. Some authors jump back and forth in the same chapter, and you have to follow it. And hopefully the author tells you that the person has changed from POV. But this one, they each get their own chapter. So it's a fairly quick read. I finished it in a couple of hours. At some point, it kept going on and on and on. They kept getting another case and another case and another case and another case. And I was like, are they gonna solve this kidnapping case? Are they gonna do this? All these questions, the characters with the alcohol and the characters with the drugs and all this. I was like, come on already. Get to it. Come on. But it was, it was pretty good, but at some point it just went on and on. And like, come on, hurry up, come on. You're tempted to speed ahead, but there were so many clues that you didn't want to miss a clue, so you had to go through it. So this is book 1 in the series. Look for book 2 in a couple of months. It's supposedly come out in January. We'll see if we can get my hands on it. See what happens. And Miss Q, if you want to check out who she is, Dirty 30, 2023, 2024, New Year's Eve. Don't forget Star Trek Fridays. If Then Fridays, I've got a good one coming up. I'm working really hard to gather the books. And don't forget Flashback Monday and my daily book reviews, where this week we're doing a bunch of odd and ends, going through my to-be-read pile. Blue Christmas the other day. And we're going to get to The Mirror, Nora Roberts' The Mirror. And we're going to get back to Catherine Coulter's FBI series. We're halfway through that, too. So, if you could please hit the like and subscribe. Oh, we finished Mercy Thompson. That was a little sad. Now we have to wait for the next book. And who knows when that... I don't think there's coming... Might be this year or next year. Patricia Briggs hasn't said a word on her website, so we'll see what happens. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much.